The Maine Red Claws made history Wednesday night at the Portland Expo as they earned their first playoff series win in franchise history with a 124-119 win against the Fort Wayne Mad Ants in a true must-win Game 3. Said head coach Scott Morrison on what this victory means for the franchise.
We were saying yesterday that we were disappointed that we kind of blew the lead in Game 2 there, but at the end of the day, this is kind of why we're all in this business, is to get into playoffs and deciding game and two good teams battling it out. It's what gets the competitive juices going, and at the end of the day, probably why we love to do it.
The win ends the series, a best-of-3 series, at 2-1 in favor of the Red Claws. The last few minutes of this game played the same hand as the previous two, down to the wire and up for grabs. Unlike Monday's defeat, one in which Maine blew as much as a 15-point lead, the Red Claws persevered in this one after being down 8 points in the fourth quarter. A three-pointer from Fort Wayne's Trey McKinney-Jones with 45 seconds remaining cut the Mad Ants' deficit to 116-115. Next to Tyler Hansborough, McKinney-Jones was far and away Fort Wayne's next best player. Abdul Nader, who took most of the lead guard duties away from a hindered Demetrius Jackson, responded the other way with the hoop of the night, a drive to the basket which resulted in a one-hand slam and a three-point cushion for Maine with 28 seconds remaining, said Nader on his last attempt at the rim.
I was just making a read. I was trying to take my time. I saw that they were worried about Gerson popping because he was killing them with that all game, so they kind of left me a little bit and had open lane.
Fort Wayne would have an opportunity to tie the game, or at least extend it, with an attempt inside the arc. McKinney-Jones would go strong to his right, and along the baseline with a good attempt at the rim, roll a layup towards the iron. The ball on the rim seemed to be coated in Red Claws magic as the ball touched every part of the rim before rolling out to Jordan Mickey, who played a strong and fiery game to the tune of 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 block shots. The 2015 second-round pick from the Boston Celtics would calmly sink both freebies. The Red Claws would eventually ice the game, a testament to some cool free throw shooting when the game mattered most, as the Red Claws hit 11 of 12 attempts in the fourth quarter. Tonight's highlight of the night came with 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. A help side block by Gershon Yabusele popped off the backboard and eventually ended up high in the air, where it was corralled by point guard Karan Williams. With Nader running on his left, Williams fed the streaking Nader the ball for a one-on-one attempt against the Fort Wayne defender. Nader, however, had the choice to dish to a fleet-of-foot Yabusele, who came springing into play after making the decisive block on the other end. Nader served up an alley-oop to the 6'8 French product with a loud slam, followed by a timeout from Fort Wayne, said Nader on the play, and Yabusele's incredible speed in getting from one end to the other.
That's just a testament to him. He made that play possible with his defensive effort, and then he ran the floor faster than I've seen anybody run the floor in a long time, and I just tried to make the right play.
That would nearly result in the high point of the game for the Red Claws, as the momentum would turn in the third quarter nearly completely by midway through the fourth quarter, as the Red Claws' offense stagnated and Fort Wayne seemed to dictate the slower pace. An and one layup with a converted free throw by McKinney-Jones would give Fort Wayne an 8-point lead with 9 minutes remaining in the Red Claws season. The Red Claws would fight, however, and show the fire that helped guide them to a 29-21 regular season record. Mental toughness coupled with a big lineup, which saw Jalen Jones slide to the 3, Yabusele move to the 4, and Mickey play the 5, the first time Morrison has used that lineup all season, according to the Red Claws head coach, said Morrison on the lineup alteration.
Well, I have to watch the film to see if it made a difference, but we ended up going big. For the first time all year, we played Jalen Jones at the 3 and had him out there with Gershon and Jordan, Abdul at the 1, and then rotated Karan and Art, and just tried to stay a little bit bigger, keep our rebounders on the floor, and just try and do something to keep them off the glass and keep them from getting to the rim, because they've been killing us in both those areas for 3 games.
In addition to the larger lineup that helped keep the good rebounding Mad Ants off the glass, it was the efforts from Williams, an unsung hero who has taken a back seat at times during the regular season. Playing in place of Jackson, who was held at 2 points, 5 assists, and 3 turnovers committed in 20 minutes of play and was battling the flu and cold all week, according to Morrison, Williams scored 11 points on a perfect 4-4 from the field and 3 of 3 from distance. He also grabbed 4 rebounds, dished out 4 assists, and was a plus 14 on the night. Quote, "I was real happy for him," Morrison said of the Wake Forest product. "Not only to have a great game, but be one of the key parts to the win." End quote. If Mickey was the rock down low, Yabusele brought the energy, and Williams was the unsung hero. It was the rookies, Nader and Jones, who kept Maine afloat during stretches that seemed hopeless. Nader scored 26 points to go with 8 boards, 8 assists, and a team-high 41 minutes of action, while Jones, a 6'8 versatile forward, poured in a game-high 30 points on 11 of 15 shooting from the floor. Jones also snatched 7 rebounds and hit 4 of Maine's 11 three-point makes on the night, said Morrison of both players' developments.
We talked about learning how to be winners as as a part of player development. And I think this week they grew up a lot. Just taking the game plan, making adjustments from game to game, and it was probably the first series that any of those guys played in. So we had our down moments, but learned enough to get by and hit some tough shots to win.
In his second home game in front of the Maine faithful, Yabusele did not disappoint yet again. The Dancing Bear scored 26 points on 10 of 14 shooting and added 9 rebounds and 2 block shots to his box score, and despite his 5 turnovers, his energy and sheer physical and athletic abilities simply overpowered Fort Wayne during points in this game. The Red Claws move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they will face Raptors 905, coached by 2-time NBA All-Star and veteran of 18 seasons, Jerry Stackhouse. Toronto's D-League club amassed a league best record of 39-11 and far and away the best net rating of 9 points, nearly double the next best mark. Raptors 905, however, look somewhat more vulnerable now after losing center Eddie Tavares to the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers, who signed the 7-footer to release the recently signed veteran Larry Sanders. Game 1 is scheduled for Sunday, April 16th at 5 p.m. For CLNS Radio, I'm Corey Prescott.